Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. I hope everyone had a great week in WoW. And for this week, we have mythics for the new raid. This week we'll also have time walking. It will be the Warlords of Draenor version of it. For one day on Monday, we will have the Luminous Luminaries event, which is like a little mini engineering type event. Also, on Monday, we have the power leveling of pets. This is something that hasn't been around in a while because it usually takes a while. I will link a video at the end of this one that shows you how you can go about doing that. Feel free to check out my video. It shows you how you would set up your garrison. This is a WOD thing. And basically, you'll need a level 3 garrison to do it. I do happen to have a level 3 garrison because I've been taking part of this overpowered leveling for years in WoW. And yeah, so I have my garrison all set up. So if you guys just need a garrison, hit me up in Discord or the website if you're over there. And I will open up my garrison to you guys. We can just form a party and you guys can come in, freely. I don't mind doing that because I can be outside of my garrison doing things while you guys are in there power leveling your pets. So, and I stay on for long periods of time anyway, so not a big deal. Also, there will be PvP Brawl. It's going to be the Packed House this week. So as for my accomplishments, there is a lot. This week was a super busy week. There were so many new things in the game between the new raid and the new mythic season, the new mega dungeon, Tazavesh, and, new stuff to get out in Korthia and all that. It was just a jam-packed week. So yeah, I've gotten quite a bit done. So let's start with, I guess, Korthia. So with Korthia, my Archivist's Codex rep, as you know, it's kind of a weird rep. It's not like honored or any of that. It's in tiers. You can go up to tier 6. And I am currently sitting at a tier 3. So yeah, I'm pretty happy where my rep is sitting there. Tier 3 is pretty much the average tier. There's maybe a couple of like hard goers that maybe just entered like a tier 4, but I haven't really seen anyone much higher than that. And the Death's Advance rep, I am sitting in honored now for that rep, so that one's going pretty good as well. Yeah, I've just been more or less busy farming the rares over there. One thing I have discovered through my farming of some mounts and stuff is let's just take a minute to talk about melee for a bit. So if you're like me, you are going after this melee mount, and you probably were like me thinking it was daily. Kind of like Blanchy was, right? You could do that one every day till you got it. Melee is quite different. I was sitting back and I was like, I should have had this mount by now. Like, what's going on? And so that's when I really discovered that melee is not there every day. So feel free to look around and get at your spawn points. I'll link a picture for you guys in case you don't know the spawn points. If you don't see her at those spawn points, then she's not there for the day and you can move on. And that's when I realized that that's not how she works. She's not an everyday thing. So, and as far as premates go, premates are rough with her. I have only gotten into like a 1 premade with her. People usually don't put her in the premates. So yeah, I don't know if that's because people aren't finding her. That could very well be the reason. But yeah, if you're going after the melee mount farm, expect to be waiting a bit. Yeah, she sounded easy. It was go find Maelie like 6 times and bring her back. It sounds very easy, but yeah, not so much when you don't really know, because it's not like she's every 2 days or every 3 days. You have no idea the next time she's showing up. You just gotta look, and yeah, there's also a chance she shows up 2 times in a row. It's just guaranteed that you won't get her every single day. But her spawn times in the areas is very, very, well, shall we say rare? So maybe that's what makes her rare. So yeah. On the topic of rare mounts, though, I did get my very first rare mount of the 9.1 patch, and that is the Fallen Charger. So yeah, I was really impressed in the Fallen Charger. I'd only killed the Fallen Charger twice. I looted it on my second attempt, and yeah, I was super happy for that. Yeah, it's been a while since I've looted a mount on less than, say, 5 attempts. So that was pretty cool. So also, one bigger thing that I did this week, what had to do with the hunter. I told you guys in past videos that I've been leveling this hunter that I want to raid with so that I can get the bow. And I had started leveling with my Void Elf hunter who's sitting on my main server. And I got her up to, I think she's like 57 or something like that. When I made the Void Elf, you know, obviously she's an allied race, right? So she was a duplicate hunter. I really wanted a Void Elf hunter. I knew I had a hunter already that I made back in like BC expansion. And I don't like having 2 of the same on a server. So my intention was always to kind of move one of the hunters, but I wanted the Void Elf to stay on the main server. So I chose to actually move the BC hunter. And I probably wouldn't have even done this except there was that sale that was going on. So I took advantage of that. It ended up being like $20 to server transfer her. She was only like level 52 when I did it, and silly me didn't transferring money with her, just the money that I had on her, but my druid is like constantly robbing the alts of their money because something will go up in the black market or whatnot, right? So I didn't do that, but you know, I'm actually kind of okay with that. I am finding from transferring a character that had next to no money, you make a ton of money just off leveling. I made like 20,000 and I'm not even 60 yet. So you make a pretty good amount of money. Like, I don't even think you need a true fucking gold farm guide anymore. Like, you just do things, you know, just play the game and you'll make money. So I transferred her, and of course you guys know this past week was Dark Moon week, so I used the Dark Moon buff to level her as far as I could. I was still doing Korthia dailies in between, so it wasn't like full focus on leveling, but a good amount. She transferred with being level 52, and I now have her sitting at 57, almost 58. So yeah, the Dark Moon buff is obviously expired now, but 2 levels to go and then she's 60, and then I'm just gonna gear her and all that. She's still guildless. I'm gonna get her into a guild. I want to wait till I'm 60 geared. That way when I apply to a guild, I can legit say, hey, I'm ready to raid, you know, let's go type deal, right? So yeah. You know, they wouldn't be sitting there waiting for me to gear or something. So yeah, a part of me is still surprised that I actually did transfer her because, well, for starters, I was just gonna level a character from scratch, save myself the money. But the only reason I cared about the transfer at this particular point in time is because she's high enough that she could get into a raid real fast and maybe get to Sylvanas and loot that bow. Like, we're a one-track mind when it comes to this hunter, right? Like, that's legit all I care about right now. But I have, for multiple years, I have had friends asking me why I don't, server transfer my main, which is the druid you see me. This druid here, she goes through hell to raid. The reason she does is because I'm so loyal to my server and my guild. This druid's on my vanilla server, the guild I made in BC, and she's the guild master of it, obviously. And and because I'm so loyal to those two facts, I don't put her in a raiding guild, and I just sit back and hope that our guild becomes a raiding guild again someday. And and so I've had friends telling me for years, why don't you move her? Because they know I love raiding. And so this was the best we were gonna get. There was no way in hell I was ever gonna move my main druid out of here. The best scenario, like I just said, is for the druids guild to be a raiding guild. And so this was the best decision. Hunter is something I want to raid with for this raid, and it was gonna take a duplicate character to move any character off the server, because of those allied races. So and unfortunately, even although this character is one of my oldest characters, not the druid, well, the druid is the oldest character, but the hunter that I moved is one of the first alts that I made. And but for whatever reason, I actually prefer the Void Elf Hunter over the Draenei Hunter. I know your Draenei lovers are probably shaking your head at me. But that's why I chose to keep the Void Elf over on the main servers, because when it comes to the races, I like the Void Elf a lot better than I like the Draenei. But because I'm a planner, I actually, a year or two, planned this scenario out. I knew one day I was moving that hunter. And so what I did is I more or less cloned the Void Elf. When I made her and I started leveling her, my original hunter that I moved is a jewel crafter. I made the Void Elf a jewel crafter. I completely cloned her so that I would not be missing anything that hunter had. I went after rare patterns that she had for jewel crafting and everything. So it's not gonna, of course I'll know she's gone, but she's on a busy server now. I'm gonna have no problems getting her into a guild. So now, cool story. Well, cool to me anyway. But when I transferred her, I hadn't started leveling her yet. I was just in the city, kind of fiddling with her talents and all that. And someone in trade chat offered a free Stone Drake from Deep Home, right? And I was like, no way, for free? Really? Because there was a guy prior to that trying to sell it. And so I think this guy snagged it from the seller, which, thumbs up. I miss when the community actually came together as a community and helped people get stuff. Nowadays, you pretty much have to pay for things, you have to pay some random person to get a mount you're farming for, 10 plus years. So I am all for a person snagging that kill from someone who just plans on making a shit ton of money. Because, when people sell that mount, they sell it for, 300K. It's not a little bit of money. It's, a pretty big chunk of money. So this guy came in and he was offering it for free. And so I messaged him, and because I'm very... let's say I don't trust things right off the bat. So I messaged him, and I'm like, if it really is for free, I'll come for the kill. And so he invited me, and I got the kill. So I got this Drake. For those of you that have never heard the story, I will tell you my sad story and why this Drake has always been so important to me to get. This isn't just some rare farm that I've wanted to do. Back in Cataclysm, which is basically when it came out, I spotted him. I was with a friend of mine, and we didn't really know how it worked. Back then, you could only get it on, like, only one person could get it. You hopped on him. There was like a mount icon, and you would hop on him, and he would fly you over to this cool little area, and then you'd fight him over there, and then you'd loot the mount. They've changed things since then. Now you can group up, and you don't mount on them at all. Like, you just initiate battle and everyone loots the mount. But back then, I thought that's how it would work. So I'm like, oh, you mount on him first, and then I'll get him next time, right? And I didn't think next time was gonna be several years later, just saying. And then the sad part of that is that guy, like, quit playing the game in Panda. So yeah, he's been sitting with this mount that I wanted, and he doesn't even play the game anymore. So that is my sad story, which is why I always tried farming this mount. I would go out to depot him for a while. There was a couple of times where I'd actually sit there and farm him for a bit. A lot of the ones that I have tried to, like, sit there and camp never panned out. I'd get tired before I spotted it. So I would just like to say, for fellow mount farmers, never camp shit. Don't camp anything. Just check pre-mates, see if someone has it up. If it's up, go for it. If you have to fucking camp the thing, don't even bother. One day you'll get lucky and someone will have it, you know, and you'll be able to get it. But, like, that is the number one piece of advice I would give all mount farmers, is that you're wasting your time if you sit there and just wait hours and hours and hours for something to spawn. Because, you know, there might not be a whole lot of nice people in the world, but there are some that will have same mount up on their server, and they will put it in pre-mates or something. So just always check pre-mates. Always check the legacy pre-mates. See if someone's, you know, I see Time Lost Proto a lot of the time in there. So yeah. So, to continue our story that is becoming a long story here, I apologize, but it was an exciting week, guys. It was an exciting week. So after I got that Drake, Dark Moon had just started, right? So I went in and I was gonna get my first buff to start leveling the Hunter. And as I poured it in, someone called out Moonfang. And so when it comes to the rares in Dark Moon, like Moonfang and Dark Moon Rabbit, I've been kind of caught up. I have everything from the Dark Moon Rabbit, and the only thing I was missing off Moonfang was the toy. That has taken me a few attempts. And so I'm like, what the hell, I'm here. I'll go kill Moonfang. And, well, you know, the toy dropped. And I was so excited. So, of course, like, at the end of the day, I was like, this is the best fucking server transfer I have ever done, you know, because all within, I would say, 2 hours. Within 2 hours, I got the character over there. I looted a mount that I'd been farming for a really long time that is truly a rare farm. The minimum wait time's like 12 hours on this guy. He's like a 12 to 2 or 3 day mount farm. And then the Moonfang toy, so I don't have to do Moonfang anymore when I'm at Dark Moon. It was a really good week, guys. Like, I had a blast this week. I thought it went really well. I love this toy. I have it on my bars now. I plan on using it a lot. There's a reason why I wanted this toy. It wasn't, I know a lot of the time it's just because I need it for my collection. But this was truly a toy I wanted because I love this Moonfang toy. You running around like Moonfang. Yeah. So you can run around like this for 10 minutes. However, the cooldown on the toy is like an hour, so that part kind of sucks. But you know, it's the go-to on pretty much all the toys. Most of them have an hour cooldown, no matter what the duration of actually using it is. And speaking of toys, I also got this toy here, the Vesper of Harmony. I got it off of a wild world cracker kill. And the few more accomplishments. Of course, we can fly in 9.1 now, so I did get that. And Torghast, I'm still working on getting like a 4-star on Torghast stuff, but I have been doing that. I've been unlocking some stuff. And as you can see on screen right now, I have been progressing through the raid on my druid. And actually, it just dawned on me that at the beginning of the video, when I was telling you guys weekly events, I said that Mythic opens up for this raid. What I failed to add in there, my bad, is that also the first wing of LFR will open up. So if you are a person that only has time to do LFR mode, you can start queuing for that on Tuesday. Another thing I'd like to mention is the nest of unusual materials. You see them all over Korthia. They have a chance to actually drop a 32 slot bag, and that bag is a BOE, so you might want to maybe grab every unusual material nest that you can find, because you may make some decent coin off of that BOE 32 slot bag. Next up, I have noticed on my mission board lately that I have Soul Cinder quests now. So most of my followers are 50. I don't think you would need them at 50. I think 40 is probably around the time you'd start seeing this quest. I've been going like ham with my mission board since the beginning. You know, when everyone was like focusing their tier 5 buildings and all that, I was like spending all my currency in the mission board. And I'm glad I did it that way, honestly, because now Anima is super easy. I collected almost 20,000 Anima this week alone. So Anima is super easy now, which is what I said to you guys before. Like when people were out there farming Anima after that last update, I was like, nah, just wait till 9.1. You know, it's going to be so fast. And it is. The almost 20,000, I wasn't even trying. I was just doing Korthia stuff. Out in Korthia, you just end up with so much. I am constantly going back to the Covenant to hand it in. So, yeah. Which is kind of a pain. I wish we would get like a toy or something that could like maybe send someone flying over to like hand in your Anima for you or something. That would be really nice. Okay, so that's basically it for, you know, weekly stuff, my goals, accomplishments, and a couple of tips that I had for you guys. So now let's head over to news. Luckily, there isn't too much news-wise because I kind of already made this week's WoW Weekly story mode. So yeah. First bit of news has to do with the Catalogued research. When 9.1 first launched, there was a 12,000 cap on the Catalogued research. And then they realized that was pretty easy to obtain, so they increased it to 22,000. And they probably realized that even that is easy to obtain. So now they have completely removed the cap. You can collect as much Catalogued research as you want. Which is probably why you see some people with tier 4 now. I was actually surprised when they made this change. I think it's a great change, but Blizzard typically doesn't make a change where people can like just go ham and farm all the research that they want. So, but yay, I'd be annoyed with that cap because luckily I didn't hit it yet before they made these changes, but I would have by now. I have gotten a lot of cataloged research. Cataloged research is the reason I'm pretty much always bag full, you know, and I get it. Those that know me are probably sitting back laughing and they're like, what are you talking about? You're always inventory full. But I can usually, at least if I really try, keep like 10 spots open. And those 10 spots get filled real fucking fast with cataloged research and anima. So, yeah. Okay, next up we have a blue post from Blizzard kind of explaining how hard mode Tazavesh works. Basically says Blizzard has clarified that Tazavesh hard mode must be completed in one run. So if the hard mode instance is allowed to reset, which is 30 minutes with no one inside the instance, Blizzard has clarified that you will need to start from the beginning. Hard mode Tazavesh with no wipes generally takes around 60 to 90 minutes. So make sure you have that amount of time. I haven't even gone into that dungeon at all yet. Like, there's been so much shit going on this week that I have not even had time to do regular mode, which is mythic mode. But, like, yeah, I've unlocked it. I have my flight path over there now, and I did the quest, and then when they gave me the dungeon quest, I was like, I'll come back later, you know? So I left, and the plan was to have it done before I did WoW Weekly, but that's not the case. So maybe we'll make that a goal for next week. It's been a bit since I've had some legit goals on the channel here. Not hard mode. We'll work towards that one, but at least just getting my quest done on Mythic. So if you're doing hard mode, it has to be done in that one run. Honestly, like, I kind of feel like an idiot just telling you guys that. Like, did people not think that that was the case? Like, to me, that is a hard mode, doing the stuff in one run. You know, if you leave or you die, you failed. I guess I'm a little confused on why people would think that they could do hard mode in a second run. I don't know. But that's the clarification there. It must be done in one single run. And there's also some Soulshapes. And this is part of the hard mode. So when you're in there doing hard mode, there is 2 Soulshapes you can get your hands on. The first one is the Direhorn Soul, and he drops from the Menagerie boss encounter. And then the second one is the Yak Soul, and he can be dropped by Sole, which is the final boss. These are not a guaranteed drop, so, not for sure. And it's unconfirmed right now if it can be done in the other mode. There has recently been reported that the Direhorn Soulshape did also drop in normal mode. So it is likely that the Yak Soul does as well, but until someone actually loots the Yak Soul in a mode that isn't hard mode, there's no confirmation on that, but I would say 90% chance that they both would drop similar. I can't imagine a Soulshape being tied to hard mode, but I don't know. It's just there's so many Soulshapes out there, and while a lot of them look cool, it's not like if you were on, say, a super big gold flashy mount. You notice something like that, but with the Soulshapes, they're just all blue. Like, yeah, I can't imagine they would truly tie anything to strictly hard mode. Yeah, I just don't see that happening, because unless they made one soul shape be a different color, then that would make it stand out. But it would also wouldn't make it make sense for a soul shape to not be blue. So I'm, you know, I personally think there's a high chance that you get the Yak Soul in normal mode as well. As a Night Fae, I, of course, collect all the soul shapes because I am a collector and must have all the soul shapes, right? But because of every Night Fae having a soul shape and everyone's rolling around, you know, in that, I barely use my soul shape. You guys have very seldom seen my soul shape in my videos. And it's because the only time I really use it is if I need to go fast for long periods of time where I've used my dash on my cat, and then I go into my soul shape and continue flashing forward, basically. But aside from that, I like to be a little different. I don't see a whole lot of druids with my purple skin here, so it's a big reason why I use this one. One day, if I saw a lot of druids rolling around in my purple skin, I would probably change my skin. I am just that person. I feel the need to be unique when it comes to my druid, and yeah, it's a big reason why I never chose to use the fire one, although I do still have the toy. But everyone wanted to be the fire kitty, and while it's pretty and I like it, I have the toy. I can use it every so often, and yeah, but that's just me. So I'm not too big into the soul shapes, but I do like collecting them. Personally, I would love to see more druid skins, but I understand the soul shapes. It is for the expansion, so really it's the cool thing for this expansion. When Shadowlands ends, I'm sure they're gonna retire soul shape because it's tied to your covenant, right? The covenant's gonna go away, which means the soul shape is gonna go away. As for goals, I did say we were gonna make some goals since I didn't do Tazavesh. So the goal for this week is Tazavesh. Just mythic for now. We can maybe make a goal of hard mode the following week or something. So Tazavesh mythic mode, and my mythic key, and that's it. Yeah, those are the only goals. So that pretty much concludes the video. Have a great one, guys. Have a great week. If you're going into the mythic raid, good luck, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.